Alright, so I'm going to try out some of the Peterson car care products wheel cleaner today. I've tried some old stuff and some stuff off the shelf that just doesn't work. It works as good as dish soap. So I'm going to try them on my wheels, which I bought white wheels, and with the Willwood brake compound, it really kicks on really easily within a week, and I have to sit there and scrub constantly, and it just gets really annoying, so I tend to just not even wash them at all. So I decided to give them a try and see how it works. I'm gonna try some tests with just a normal hose, a pressure washer, and a little bit of abrasion to see what the differences are if it doesn't come off instantly with just sitting there with the hose. So usually basically says to just spray it on, use it for leave it on there for a minute, 45 seconds to a minute. So I'm gonna try all those out and try them out also on a different car, which the wheels have not been cleaned for about a year. I'll try them out on there and see how the product works. All right, so this is the wheel, nice and dirty. And this is the wheel cleaner. So I'm gonna test it out and see what happens with a normal hose. I'm gonna let that sit there for probably a minute, give or take. So let's see what happens to it. It's definitely turning red. Alright, so it's been about a minute now. As you can see, it is very red. I am going to just be using a normal garden hose, nothing special, nothing high pressure. Let's see. Alright, so it cleaned off a decent amount, but to be honest, gotta scrub there, gotta clean everywhere, so I'm not sure how well that worked really. Perhaps I might have to try to see if the pressure washer gives any different results. Alright, gonna try the pressure washer option. Spray this on here. Gonna try to get all up in that wheel. Leave that for a minute and see what. Alright, that's about a minute, give or take, maybe just over a minute. Sit there, got the pressure washer, nothing too special, but you know, it's something. You know, we'll give it a shot. That's a noticeable improvement over the garden hose, but you can still see all of that right there. So it's definitely far from perfect. Probably gonna have to spray this stuff on and aggravate it just a tad bit, see what happens. All right, this is with me just barely touching it with a towel. You can see the spots that I didn't touch. Still, the pressure washer doesn't get them out of the corners. So I want to try the rear, which you can see is just some mud a little bit, but this brake dust is a lot less than anything else does. So I'm going to try spraying it on, leaving it for a minute, and see what lighter usage does. Let this sit there for a minute now. Alright, it's been a little over a minute. Now, what I'm curious about is that back there, I don't know if you can tell, but back there is all wool. Back there, it's all dirty. So I wouldn't mind trying out, see what the pressure washer will do with that stuff back there where it's really dirty. I'm gonna give it a shot with the pressure washer and see what happens. sun came out. But as you can see, corners and everything seem to be really clean. So I don't see any problems with lighter use. It takes off all brake dust with zero touching, wiping, or any other stuff. But the front, definitely, you have to wipe it off. Yeah, nothing has been washed off these wheels, I mean, for ages. So I figured that'd be another decent test to try. I'm going to try I want to try the right side of the wheel, spray just one side of it and leave it for a minute, and then the other side I want to leave for 5 minutes and see the difference. Alright, we'll leave that there for a minute and see what happens. Alright, it's been a minute. It kind of dripped down, but this stuff turned red instantaneously, so there's a lot of brake dust to work on there. So I'm going to try to pressure wash that off on the right side and see what the difference is. Over here, let's go ahead and see. Well, you could definitely see, especially from an angle, that it is much brighter. Clean the edge off. This is much dirtier. That definitely has a bit of a shine to it, but it's been like this for a year, maybe more, so I'm not surprised. All right, now I'm gonna spray the other side and leave it for at least 5 minutes and see what happens. All right, it's been 5 minutes of it just soaking there. So I'm going to go ahead and try to give it a pressure wash and see what happens. All right, a little bit more came off where it was waiting 5 minutes, but not too much of a difference. So definitely helps a lot on something that's been sitting there for a year, if not more. Now on this wheel, very similar wheel, I want to spray it and actually wipe. After about 1 or 2 minutes of this, I want to actually wipe some of it away, and so see how much brake dust there is. It's reacting instantly. I'll give it a small wipe with a rag after a minute, and then pressure wash it and see if this brake dust lifts, because this brake dust with just a rag does not come off. So we will see if this chemical helps. All right, so that's been sitting there for a minute or two, and I'm going to just freshen it up, make sure that it's not dry, because I want to wipe on some wet. So just using an old microfiber rag that's pretty much dirty. All right, so now I will give that also a pressure wash. And you can see the ones that I touched the rag, there is almost no brake dust on it. So this stuff definitely eats up the brake dust, no problem. All right, so I tried out the product and I like it. It definitely works. It's definitely impressed me. With my front wheels, I had to definitely touch it, but no scrubbing, just a light touch with a rag, maybe a brush get in there. And it would take maybe a minute each wheel at most to get them perfectly shiny and clean. So I'm definitely impressed because this does actually eat brake dust and it doesn't just sit there and clean, mud off. So definitely impressed with the way it works. Go to Peterson Car Care and try it out for yourself, see how it works. It's honestly not that expensive, so it's definitely worth a try for yourself and see how it works out, especially if you have wet wheels, because it's just a pain to keep them clean.